All right, I am here in Nubian land. This is where the people who have the melanin, the brown-skinned Egyptians, and they're believed to be the more indigenous Egyptians that were not a part of the Greco-Roman invasion or the Arab invasion built. And it's believed that they are the ones who actually built, or their ancestors, I should say, are the ones who built the pyramids and some of the other structures that we saw. So this would be interesting to see any similarities between the pyramids, and these are ancient structures as well. But got a few surprises coming up, so stick around for what this adventure is going to reveal. And best believe Darren and Destiny are going to have a book about this one. Best believe it.
So, welcome to Angelica Island. This island we call Angelica, and this we are going to see on this island temple dedicated to the goddess Isis. This temple, Greek and Roman temple as well.
So this is a Greek and Roman temple.
You can see the influence of the Greek.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I saw.
see
I looked up and I saw the
details.
architecture.
Now you understand the difference between the old things like rock things and the Greek. So this is Greek and Roman temple. The temple is built during the Greek and Roman temple. The temple dedicated to the goddess Isis, the goddess of love and the beauty. We can see here.
Isis, okay.
This is Isis. She is the mom of Horus. The temple is Greek and Roman, and you'll be surprised when you know everything you are going to see. All this building, this is not the original location.
Okay.
The original location, like 500 meters there. We moving, also building the dam, this temple, the water rising up, and then the water building the old dam. This is the level of the water. You can see the lines.
The lines of water.
Yeah,
oh,
water mark. So the temple submerged by the water, and
Okay.
then the tourists they used to go by motorboat
To see the top.
to see just the top part appeared, and the rest of the half of the temple was covered by water, and then the Egyptian government managed something or to remove moving the temple from the Egyptian convert to Christian, but the Nubian they said no, they used to come here to pray, to worship the goddess Isis,
Okay.
ancient Egyptian gods, and then till 500 AD. 500 AD, so the priestess came in here and practiced their religion.
So how were they introduced to Christianity?
So yes, what happened is Egypt became like Roman, and Rome.
Oh, the Catholics.
Rome decided to convert to Christians. Rome and Egypt part of the Roman Empire, and the Roman emperor he decided, okay, he found the priest of the Nubians.
Was that Constantine?
Yes, Constantine. Yeah,
Okay.
it's perfect. Yes,
Okay.
and he said, oh, they still worship here, so he sent for them soldiers, take them, the Nubian priest, put them in jail, and he decided, I will convert the temple for the ancient Egyptian gods to Coptic church. That's why you can see crosses here.
So to replay this, so basically Constantine sent soldiers in to force convert the Nubians to Catholicism.
Yes, and this is he, and he asked to convert this hall or this temple to Coptic church, and you can see some.
Okay, now Coptic and Catholicism are different. They're not the same. Coptic and Catholicism.
No, the church.
Okay.
This is the cross.
So they carved that in. Okay. But I find that to be interesting because they did something similar in Angola. When they enslaved West Africans, they forced them into Catholicism, forced baptized them. And then even when you look at the Protestant church, what the Church of England, the Anglican church would do is something similar, so it's very interesting to see how that happened. So they were basically trying to force the Nubians into converting into what they call Christianity.
Yes, and they pray to the east.
Okay.
So it's not really during your prayer you'll find in front of your ancient Egyptian relief. So they dismantled, they erasing all the Egyptian scenes,
Okay, and
like
put that-
goddess Isis.
Oh,
and
I see.
You see them, because they pray, and this is the altar.
Now this is
altar,
this the
and
Coptic
is for,
cross, right?
You know, this is for the use to this is holding this hosting the holy box.
Okay.
Bible here.
But that cross,
The
there, is that the Coptic cross?
Yeah, this is Coptic cross. Is like for them, for three, for the Trinity, Trinity, and this is the fours of the main fours of the four people.
So I guess the question then is, what's the difference between Coptic and Catholic?
Coptic is Egyptian Christian.
Right, because it means Egypt. So how did Constantine institute the Coptic Church then? If he's a Roman emperor.
Yes,
So,
he's Roman emperor.
so the Coptic Church, I guess that's the question. The Egypt Church.
Yes.
How does Constantine get involved with that? Since he's Roman Catholic,
Catholic.
Roman emperor, I should say, Roman emperor. How does he now get involved?
Actually, I don't know if he was Catholic or I don't know, but the beginning of the Christianity.
I think he converted.
Yes.
And I think that he wanted to make, quote unquote, Christianity the religion for all of everyone.
Yes.
And so he was like, okay, this is like a state religion.
Yes.
And that was around 300 and something AD.
395.
Yeah. So
395, Egypt became Christians. Whole Egypt. And these people, the priestess here, they continue like till 500.
But I guess the question I have is that it sounds like it was imposed. You understand? It sounds like they were like forced to convert. I mean, how do you get a whole nation to convert? You know?
They put them in jail.
That's what I'm saying. How do you get a whole nation to convert to something?
The priest of Isis into the jail.
So, and he said, "This is Egypt. You're going to be a Christian nation, or even it wasn't a country then, but." He said, in the north, this is what you're going to be. Because then you had Islam, I guess they were doing something similar. When they would come in, they would say, hey, the same thing. Okay. It's just, I find it fascinating.
You know, the same thing. The Islam came with the force,
With the sword.
If you don't convert, you pay tax.
Yeah, but a lot of people, I'm telling you,
I don't have money.
So then you got to convert.
So I convert.
And it controls your behaviors, and it controls the way you think, and it controls all those things. I get it. It's all.
It's because you like friendly, yeah? Because the other guy, they will not say.
Oh, I know they won't. I know. Thank you. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, this is, for me, and someone who grew up in America, which is supposed to be a so-called Christian nation, but it's wicked. So many wicked. It's so many contradictions and hypocrisies that are anti that. I come and I ask these questions because we're trained not to ask questions. We're told if we ask too many questions, now there's a problem. Now there's something wrong. I'm always going to ask questions because something doesn't add up. It's not, so when I come to places like this and I go to West Africa, I'm able to see something doesn't add up. When I go to the dungeons in Ghana, something doesn't add up. When I'm in Bunce Island, Sierra Leone, something doesn't add up. So when I come here, it doesn't add up. But it's now making sense as how things were forced upon people. And a lot of times we don't even know the origins of this stuff, but we walk around as if it's, anyway, I'm all right.
So this is the Holy of the Holies.
Okay,
This is the statue of
okay.
of the goddess Isis here. Mm-hmm. The statue, we don't know where some people, the Roman emperor, they took the statue. Some people, they said now the statue in the Nubian, we don't know. But this is the Holy of the Holies for the goddess Isis. And you can see in the beginning, in the beginning of the Christianity, the Christians said, okay, we have the Mary holding the Jesus.
Well, that's the Catholics, okay.
And Catholics.
All right.
And then the early Christian, the Nubians here, they would still worship the ancient Egyptians. Mm-hmm. They say that's okay. We have the same.
Oh,
like
I see what you're saying.
The goddess Isis with the sun. So this is here So to stop any dialogue, any conversation, they used to take the face. If you like, you see the face of the goddess Isis. There is no face.
So they took the face off.
Yes. Take picture of that.
Oh wow, look at that.
The same.
So it's the same idea, the
yeah.
same concept. And honestly, I would not put it past them to have stolen this
So
because
you have Mary, Jesus. Also, we have Isis and Horus here. The same things.
yeah. But I'm amazed that it's in this Greco-Roman temple that they allowed that to be in this. So,
This is what
this is the stuff that people are being taught. As you see, if you don't ask certain questions, you will come through here and just go with the flow. Again, it's important to ask these questions. And it just leads to more questions. It leads to more questions. It leads to more questions. Oh, this is nice.
you understand. So that's why you didn't see the face of the goddess Isis.
Yeah.
Because okay, you say that's no. The early Christian they cut the face and they took it to stop any conversation because they said you have the Marian Jesus and also we have Isis and Horus. The same.
And that's was that the Coptics or was that the Catholics?
Yeah, the early they are Coptic.
Okay, the Coptics, okay. Very interesting. Leads to more questions. This is why it's important for you to come see for yourself because these are the type of questions that you might not even think to ask, if you just going to Sunday school or just going to church every week or just going to wherever, and you're not thinking to ask these types of questions because the story is much deeper, and I think that's the part that whenever I hear something is being forced upon someone, that's a problem. Because one thing that I know is that when you read the scriptures, you're supposed to have free will, and you're supposed to be able to make this choice on your own. So if you're going to jail, or you're being forced baptized, and this is a recurring theme over and over, it just makes you ask more questions, and we're going to keep asking.
In America, they told you that America invented the game of the baseball. they were lying for you because
they lie about everything.
Here, this is baseball we have from 2,500 years ago.
Look at that!
So,
wow! Look at that! It looks like something very similar. Now that could be. It looks similar. It looks like it could be. It's a ball and a bat of sorts.
And a stick and everything.
Yeah, but who invented it though? I mean, because now we're in a Greco-Roman temple. So who?
The other told the Greco-Roman temple, but the workers are Egyptian.
Yeah, but the people who
built this Egyptian for the Egyptian people.
But it's a Greek and Roman temple though.
Yes, and this is the Greek. This is like the Roman emperor.
Okay.
He wearing the double crown, and he playing baseball.
Okay, what's that that's playing up top there? What's that right there?
No. This is rattle or the
rattle.
sistrum. Rattle.
Okay.
For the.
I see a bunch of things going on. I mean, that looks like it, but it looks like it could be. It's close. It's close. All right. I'll do a little more research on that one. All right.
Music room.
All right.
We
There you go.
invented the musical instrument, one of the flutes.
Okay.
Here, and then harp.
Okay. I see you, harp. I see you. Okay.
This what you call this in America, the
Tambourine.
yes.
All right.
And then another harp.
Bring, bring, bring.
Yes, and then even they invented the electric guitar.
Maybe the acoustic. Now this is definitely something that someone needs to see. So over here is the original location, and then you moved it from there to over here.
We already
dismantled it and reassembled it and put everything back together over here. So that's what happened. Got it.
If we talk about the Nubians, they were the last people worshipped ancient Egyptian gods till 500 AD, and then when Egypt became all Christian, then most of them, because they are tribe, they convert to Christians.
Willingly or by force?
No, yes, sometimes,
I mean,
Christian, they just like by their will. I mean, they decided to convert all of them, and then
how did they get everybody to convert? I mean, if you're following ISIS, and
yes,
how do you now get everybody? Okay, you know what? Today we don't follow ISIS anymore, and then tomorrow we following.
The beginning we start by force.
Okay.
And then people convert.
Force will normally convince people. If you watch people go through enough torture and pain and lose their livelihood, I mean, that's normally a good way to get someone to say.
And then they became all of them Christian, and then 640 AD,
okay,
the Arab came to Egypt, and they sent to the Nubian, they still Christian.
Okay, so let's rewind it. So
and yes.
Okay, at this point, ancient Egyptian gods, they convert to Christianity, whether by force or conversion.
Yeah.
Then, how did the Arabs come? Was there a conquest that took place?
Arab came from Saudi Arabia.
So from Asia.
From Asia.
Right.
They conquered the north of Egypt.
Okay, so
they sent soldiers to invite Nubians to Islam.
So there was a conquering. There was another war. Someone was overthrown. Whoever was in charge of the Christians was overthrown. Was that when the Greeks lost to the Arabs?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, yes. The Arab came, and there is war with the Roman. The Arab with the
Roman, and then the Romans lost.
And Roman lost, and then Arab arrived to Egypt and convert Egypt to Islam.
So this was not necessarily a spiritual decision.
Yes.
This was more of a war. Whoever controls the land, controls the narrative, controls the religion, controls the minds, controls everything.
And they came to the people. They told them, okay, if you convert to Egypt was Coptic.
Coptic.
Was Coptic.
Okay.
Coptic, not Orthodox or Coptic.
Coptic. Okay, so it was Coptic.
All Coptic, and they said, okay, if you convert, okay, no problem. But if you would like to stay, you will pay tax.
So you got to pay tax if you go. And so now it comes to the economics.
Yes, taxes.
But I'm trying to figure out how Constantine and the Rome, because the Romans weren't Coptic. The Romans were Catholic.
Yes, Roman, no. Egypt was Coptic.
Okay, so what's the difference between Coptic and Catholic?
I am Muslim, so I don't know how the...
You know me. You know I ask these questions.
So... But
I ask these questions.
If I find someone... But I think there is... Both are the same, but I think the difference...
Oh, there's a difference. There's
different of them.
They're similar. They're definitely similar.
Yes, I have to ask some friend Christian.
No, I appreciate that. No,
Yes,
I appreciate that honesty, because I mean, I'm asking these questions because I'm tying in colonization, religion, economics, education, everything. I'm looking at how all of this begins to control people and populations. And so I was thinking to myself, well, how do you go from following ISIS to then following Christianity or Coptic? And I'm sure some Catholicism crept in there somewhere, and then going to Islam. And at every turn, there's always a war or some sort of conquering that now imposes these new religions on people. And that's where, and I'm going back to West Africa and what happened with the people who were enslaved in West Africa and taken to Brazil and taken to the Americas, and how Catholicism was forced upon them. And then how the Anglican church forced with their version of Christianity on people. And so I'm just looking at it, and it's really fascinating. I mean, it just, again, leads to more and more questions. So, but I appreciate you being willing to tackle my questions. So that's good stuff. So, but if you do find out, let me know.
So, and then the Arabs sent soldiers to the south to invite Nubians.
To invite, I like that word.
Okay, not to invite. Actually, they told, okay, but the Nubian, they refused.
Okay.
They refused to be Muslim, and they used to killing the Arab soldiers. They with their arrow. I mean, to their eyes.
Oh, wow.
I will show in the way back the tombs of the early Muslims.
Okay.
The one who came.
But somehow the Arabs got in and converted them, though. Somehow
And then
they're now Muslims.
A lot of war happened, and then after that, after many war and many troubles, then they became all of them Muslims.
So something happened that caused them to convert.
A lot of them.
So it was by conquest.
Yeah, a lot of war, a lot of troubles happened. They tried to come here a lot, so a lot of problem happened. That even in with Ethiopia also.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Of course, you
absolutely, because Coptic, yeah, been
Ethiopia.
either, and you see the different. You see where the Coptic, and then you see where Islam, and then when you have the Catholics, you had the Crusades, and that was against Islam and anyone who opposed. So you had a lot of war.
Yes.
So when people think about religion, if you don't include war in it, then you don't have a full context of the story. Because there's war at every turn. What I'm seeing when I travel the world is that there's war at every turn when it comes to how countries and kingdoms evolve, and somehow always religion gets involved. So this is good stuff. I'm definitely learning a lot.
That's now we have 1 million Nubians. All of them are Muslims.
I got it. I understand. And you go to some countries where everybody is supposed to be Christian.
Yes.
Or Catholic. Like down in South America, it's heavy Catholic. If you go down to a lot of Spanish colonies, heavily Catholic. If you go to like in America, it's a lot of Protestants. It's a melting pot in America. But if you go to like West Africa, you see a lot of Protestant Christians. You see a lot of Catholicism, and that's all of the places where they invaded and imposed themselves on people. So it's really something that we need to as a person, my background, I spent many years as a Christian in church. And many years. And there were things that just didn't add up. And so now as I'm going and I'm studying, because the Bible tells me that I should study to show myself approved, so I'm going and studying, and the story is bigger than what most people ever teach on a Sunday morning or in a Bible study or anything, or they teach it from an angle to keep control of the people, so it's very fascinating. So appreciate it, man. This is good. So that's what I say. Most of us don't know why we do what we do, because we don't know the context of the story. We don't know the history. And some people do. Oh, there's a Brazil flag over there. But it's just one of these things where when you come to these places and you see what you see, it's I know by the time you're done with me, you're gonna be thinking to yourself. Oh man.
Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with Darren and Destiny.
The Adventures of Darren and Destiny. And Darren and Destiny are twin brother and sister, and you go on their adventures throughout the African diaspora, meaning so African diaspora destinations, primarily focused in Africa, but we go to South America, we're going to go to the Caribbean. Their first book is going to take you to Ghana, and then we're going to go on a safari, and from there we're going to go to Ethiopia, and then we go to Salvador, Brazil. And what the goal is to be able to inspire curiosity in the continent of Africa, in our children from a very young age, and to really tell a more accurate story. Most of our children are exposed to negative images, late night infomercials about how bad things are, everybody's sick, everybody's poor, everyone's uneducated, but that's simply not true. So what Darren and Destiny and their family do is they go to different African destinations. They are learning about these different places. You're beginning to see positive images, but still telling the truth. I mean, that's the important thing, to tell the truth about some of the things that have occurred. But it's all done on a children's level, so they begin to understand it. And it begins to pique their curiosity. They begin to learn more. And hopefully one day they will want to explore and visit the continent of Africa and its many countries. There's just so much that Darren and Destiny are able to do And as they're doing it, it's like they begin to open the minds of a new generation. And they don't get bombarded and indoctrinated with negativity. They're actually able to see positivity and inspiring images and messages about the African diaspora, as well as those who are still indigenous to the continent of Africa, and they begin to learn more and just see things differently. So I'm excited about introducing the adventures of Darren and Destiny.